Hey guys, I want to talk to you today about a beginner's guide on following a ketogenic meal plan, low carb, high fat meal plan. So I'm going to run through this really quickly because I want to give you all of the most important information in easy to follow way so that you understand it and how it works. So ketogenic lifestyle, that is when you basically reduce the carbohydrates that you're eating, the white stuff, the sugar, the breads, pastas, like all of that stuff is gone. And at first you may think, oh my gosh, how the heck am I going to lose all of the carbohydrates when probably if you're following a standard American diet, the majority of the calories that you're eating right now are coming from carbohydrates. And so when you eliminate carbohydrates out of the foods that you eat, and you're only eating carbohydrates that come from above ground vegetable sources like the green leafy veggies, green beans, that sort of thing. You're not eating potatoes. You're not eating starchy veggies like carrots. Those type of vegetables produce a lot of insulin in your bloodstream, which the insulin spikes make it very difficult to lose weight. Once you change your meal planning and you eliminate the wheat products and all of that from there, you're going to notice that you're going to feel amazing. You're going to have more mental clarity. You're going to have more energy, and it's going to help you lose weight easily because you're not deprived. And especially in the beginning of following a ketogenic meal plan, you do not have to count your calories. You want to be feeding your body plenty of healthy fats, because one big mistake is people are afraid of fat, and by being afraid of fat, which that is what we have been told for a long time, and the ketogenic diet is like the total opposite, right, of what we have been told with the whole low calorie, low fat thing. With ketogenic diet, you don't want to be eating every 2 hours like they tell you with low calorie, low fat, because with keto, you can easily go stretches without eating, and those stretches that you go without eating allow your body to digest the foods that you eat. It allows it to burn the calories that you eat, and you will end up overall eating less. And so one of the big benefits of following ketogenic diet is that you are able to listen to your body and understand when you actually are hungry or when you are eating for emotional reasons and other reasons, because once you eliminate those carbohydrates out of your system, you're no longer going to have those spikes in sugar and insulin. So your body's going to transition from burning glucose as its primary fuel source to burning fat for fuel. So it is very important that you are actually eating fat, because that is your body's fuel source. And this is where most people are like, how am I going to be eating bacon and avocado and cheeses and all of these really heavy types of foods and lose weight? But what happens is when you start eating these types of foods, you're going to fill up on less because it's very satisfying, and it's going to keep you full for longer. And when you no longer have these sugar spikes, when you are hungry, that is your body's way of telling you that you are really hungry, that it's not because you just had a ton of sugar and now then it dropped and your body's not trying to regulate and come back to like a normal zone. You are really hungry, so you should eat. So that is one huge benefit of following a ketogenic meal plan. It's so simple to get started on something like this. It's totally free. Anyone can do it at any time. You definitely want to talk to your doctor if you're on any type of medication, if you're pregnant, that sort of thing. Probably you shouldn't be doing this type of meal planning, but definitely a regular, typical, healthy American can definitely get started on something like this, and it can have a ton of benefits for you in your life. The very first week, you're probably going to experience some withdrawal from all of the sugar and all of the carbs and the crap that you've been loading up in your system, and just expect that when that happens. They call it the keto flu. You can get over that by making sure that you take magnesium. You get plenty of potassium, plenty of sodium in your diet. I definitely want you guys to make sure that you are taking a multivitamin and supplementing with magnesium. 90% of Americans are deficient in magnesium. So regardless if you're doing this diet or something else, you definitely should consider adding magnesium in there in some way. Okay, so I take my multivitamins at night. I take that with magnesium. Also, if you're prone to getting like cramps, Charlie horses in your legs, magnesium helps with that too. So that is one sign that is something that you need. Okay, so you're ready to get started on following ketogenic meal plan. Simplest way to do that is basically just by going through your refrigerator, taking out all of the, I mean, if you have kids and you have other people in your household that are eating things like the breads and stuff, obviously you're not going to throw everything out, but take a look at the foods that you can eat. You know, you can have eggs and bacon and sausage. Just check the labels, check the packaging. You want to keep your daily net carbs. That's the easiest way to explain this to you. When you look at a label, you can see the total carbohydrate and you can see the fiber. The net carb is when you subtract the total carbohydrate, or you subtract the fiber from the total carbohydrate. So if something has 10 grams of carbohydrates and 5 grams of fiber, that is 5 net carbs, and that is what you count. I personally suggest that anyone following this type of meal plan try to stick to 30 net carbs per day or less. You can go low. Going lower is better. Going higher, depending on the person. Some people with some situations, if you have diabetes or different, if you're on medications, you might need to be at a higher net carb rate, like right around 50 grams or so. Your doctor might be able to help you with that, finding the right balance for you. But the majority of people, it's about 30 net carbs. That is the ideal, or less. You know, that's the cap. Don't try to aim for 30. Just know that 30 is pretty much where you want to be capped out for your day. Okay, so you look at net carbs. And then there are things like micros and macros that play into this whole thing. What that is basically a macro is fats, percentage of fats in the foods you eat, percentage of protein in the foods you eat, and the percentage of carbs in the foods you eat. With a ketogenic meal plan, you want to be eating 70% of your calories from healthy fats. That's avocados, salad dressings, butters, all of that stuff. So you want to have like a nice salad. You want to, when you're taking a look at the different meats to be eating, chicken is leaner, has less fat, higher protein, so it's going to make your macros, your daily macros, different. So it might not be the best choice compared to like ground beef, which is going to have a higher fat content, which is going to up your fats, and it's not going to give you too much more protein, whereas you're going to have to add more to the chicken. Okay, so it's a lot more than just following like a low carb meal plan. So you want to do 70% fat. You want to do 10 or 5 to 10% coming from carbohydrates. And then you want to do 20% coming from protein. Okay, so if you end up with 5% fat, or 5% carbs, then you can do 75% fat. You want to keep your protein source not too high, because what happens in your body when you get too much protein is that your body can turn protein into glucose and end up utilizing it the same as it would if you ate carbohydrates. So you don't want that to happen, guys. You want to be in a state of ketosis, it's called. Ketosis, really quick version, is what happens when your body transitions from burning glucose as fuel, as its primary fuel source, to burning fat as fuel. Your body produces something called a ketone, and that ketone can be measured through like urine strips. Ketones are what your brain runs on as fuel. It's it's like what it loves. It thrives on it. That's why you will experience the focus, the mental clarity. You're going to feel really good. And so being in ketosis is really a great state to be in, and you're going to notice a difference, definitely, when you eliminate the carbohydrates. So it might take you about a week to get into the groove of this whole thing, but the biggest mistake is people trying to do low fat and low carb at the same time. You're going to be starving yourself. You can't do that. You need to make sure that you're getting plenty of healthy fats. I like to use different apps to help me in calculating my macros. That's the super easy way to do it. You literally put in the foods you're eating. You're going to see your little chart change, and it'll tell you what the percentages of your fats and everything that you ate for the day. So I use apps for that, and there are some different ones. Mine that I really like is called Carb Manager. That's on iOS. I have it on my iPad. So that in a nutshell is how to follow a ketogenic diet. That is a quick version. And thank you guys for liking my page on Facebook and subscribing to my channel. Be sure to hit subscribe for more videos like this, and I will go into a little bit more detail on each topic and each subject, and please feel free to ask any questions below. Take care, guys.